Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Tort Talk Thursday, here with Joe Fantini of Rosen Injury Lawyers. Joe, as always, grateful for you to be taking time out of your day to share the latest and greatest on all things mass tort.
Thanks for having me, Susan. I always love getting together with you and talking all the latest developments in the mass torts world.
Yeah, and before we dive in, I know we're going to hit the highlights on a few litigation updates. Before we do that, I just wanted to give a big shout out and thank you to Broughton Partners and the team, Kaysen and his team there. For those of you who have not had the opportunity and the pleasure of working with Kaysen and his team, Broughton Partners is a law firm advertising and case acquisition solution. What I appreciate, I've had the opportunity to have worked with Broughton Partners for many, many years. What I appreciate is that they are a true partner. One thing that comes to mind is that in working with leads, it's really important the quality of the data up front really helps the case development and the flow of data. And Case and his team are always willing to partner, hop on calls, get leads re-engaged and transferred over to casework. So anyway, thank you so much, Case and Broughton Partners, for sponsoring today's Tort Talk Thursday episode. Joe, why don't we dive right in? One of the first things that I'm really interested to hear from you is about the latest NEC Defense Verdict. Just want to get your thoughts and kind of what comes next.
Yeah, so unfortunately, we had the first defense verdict here in the NEC litigation. Previously, we talked about two huge plaintiff wins, $495 million and $60 million. What this case showed us is each case is different, right? The facts of each individual case is really going to shape how this litigation goes forward. We have them nailed pretty well on the general causation, but it's going to be the specific causation of each case that's going to determine the verdict. So in these cases, we saw the defendants, Meade and Abbott, they were fighting for their lives. They were pulling out all the stops. We even had an attorney for the defendants from Kirkland get sanctioned and prevented from making a closing argument. It was a crazy trial to say the least. And unfortunately, we came out on the wrong side of that. It was challenging facts, and having two defendants there with two products, also another hurdle likely. Fortunately for us, there's thousands of cases out there that are still pending. And in the MDL, we recently got the bellwether trial order. So we have 3 cases teed up for trial in 2025, another one in 2026. The first MDL trial is going to kick off in May. And while that's ongoing, we're hitting them with state court actions across the country. Another half dozen trials are scheduled. So we didn't win this one. We're going to learn from it and hopefully come back with some more good verdicts for our very deserving clients.
Yeah, and May is right around the corner. So lots to get done. Let's talk a little bit about the opioid bankruptcy. I know there's rumors that there's potential agreements. What have you heard on this bankruptcy?
Yeah, so this is a big case, as you know, Susan, the Purdue opioid bankruptcy. It went all the way up to the Supreme Court, and we got a really positive ruling in our favors. Basically, the owners, the founders, the slackers, they weren't able to use the bankruptcy to discharge all of these cases and get this third-party release. And so the Supreme Court denied the bankruptcy plan, and we went back to the drawing board. Recently, we heard that settlement discussions are ongoing. There's going to be a big increase, hopefully, in the settlement award. The slackers individually are going to contribute. And we heard that before December 2nd, there's likely to be another settlement. So that's a really good development, not just for those involved with the opioids, but other cases where these defendants try to do these sham bankruptcies.
That was definitely a positive update. And the next litigation that I want to get your thoughts on is AFFF. I understood that the case count went down. So there again, what have you heard or kind of next steps?
Yeah, so in AFFF, the MDL was a little bit unique in that we had the personal injury cases, and then we also had the water facilities involved in the same MDL. There was a decrease last month of about 2,700 cases, which brings us to about 7,200 cases. We talked recently about that updated plaintiff profile form. So those cases are moving forward, and everybody's really getting a hard look. Plaintiffs served our expert reports. We're going to get them from the defendants soon. And in the first quarter, we'll get teed up for the Daubert arguments. So it looks like this case should be settling likely by this time next year. So we'll keep you guys updated as we move forward.
Fantastic. Joe, as always, thank you so much for taking time to share the latest and greatest news as it relates to mass torts.
Thanks for having me, Susan.